Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Sam Levitt's Furniture. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. Greg, you went to the UA football spring game on Friday, came away with some very distinct impressions, specifically about the quarterback. What is going on there?
My takeaway was, and of course I'm not in the meeting rooms and watching the videos, they don't have a number 2 quarterback. Brandon Dawkins was very inaccurate that night, although he obviously passes the eye test.
Yes.
And Gerard Randall, limited. So if Anu Solomon, something happens to him, I mean, that nice Pac-12 championship season isn't going to last very long.
To me, Gerard Randall, Greg, is kind of the most compelling of the 3 guys. You know, he's, was recruited by LSU, did fairly well in junior college. To me, passes the eye test and has all of the tools. On the other hand, he is an upperclassman who's now been in the system for long enough that he should understand where the ball is going. And I'm not sure that's always the case with him.
I noticed that. He dropped a couple of snaps. He reminds me of Jesse Scroggins. He just didn't pick up the system. And maybe over the next summer he will, but the odds aren't good.
Isn't it funny, though? I mean, my impression always in covering and then paying attention to Rich Rodriguez is their offensive system is not particularly complex if you're the quarterback.
It's, their read system spins the whole thing, and Anu Solomon was very adept at it. If he stays healthy, Arizona can beat anybody.
But if he struggles, and if there's anything we've seen over the years, it's Solomon takes a lot of hits. Arizona, I think you always need a backup quarterback ready to go. I mean, if you had to flip a coin right now between Dawkins and Randall, who is it?
Probably Dawkins.
Yeah.
I just don't think Randall's a passer. And you have to keep the defense honest. What a cliche.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to throw it.
Right. To me, what's so interesting, Greg, is, we talked in December and January that Anu Solomon would have needed to really dedicate himself in the weight room, in the film room, all that stuff, to be able to fend off Brandon Dawkins. And yet here we are in April, and it's kind of decided already. They've stopped the fight.
It shows how valuable the quarterback is, because when you've got a guy who can probably win you 7 games minimum, you got to go with it.
Well, yeah. It's heading into this season, Greg, everybody in the Pac-12 has gotten better. What one position is going to be the key for the U of A?
I still think it's the defensive line. I mean, it's thin. Reggie Gilbert's there. Sonny is there. Parker Zellers is there. But otherwise, they've got like 5 guys. You don't know how good they are. They haven't had good defensive lines since Rich Rudd came here. You got to have that in this league. To
me, it all comes down to will they have to use their linebackers to get to the quarterback?
Yeah.
If you have defensive ends that can get to the quarterback and a nose tackle who can take up 2 bodies, you're doing a pretty darn good job. I don't think they're there yet. They might be closer to getting there than they've been, but I mean, at some point, look at their sack numbers next year. I guarantee you, their leading sack guys are all going to be linebackers, trying to hit a gap because, the defensive ends can't get there themselves.
Yeah, Scooby Wright had 14 sacks last year. He'll probably need 14 this year, too.
Now, Scooby Wright, that's a name. I mean, everybody's talking about the quarterback. Scooby Wright is the reigning Defensive Player of the Year and somebody who could do some big things again next year.
He better, because, they're not a shutdown defense by any means.
Yep. That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Sam Levitt's Furniture. For Greg Hansen, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.